What's happening, guys? So today I want to talk about if you should still train even though you're still sore from your last session. And this is a pretty good question, a pretty common question, especially when we're talking about like the same muscle group. Like say for instance you did legs, 3 days later you're supposed to do legs again, but your legs are still sore from the last session. Is it really a good idea to train them or not? And quite often what we think is, well, we need to help recover, and if I'm too sore I'll just be that much more sore, and I need to make sure that I'm recovered so I can go through and do my workout and not be so beat up and sore all the time. But the misconception here is that it's actually because you leave yourself too much time between training sessions is why you often get too sore from your training. So there's something that's called the repeated bout effect out there, and it basically states that like your body becomes more adept at repairing itself or recovering from any stimulus that you give it. So think about like, say a garbage man or a construction worker or someone who is a really kind of like heavy labor job and they never did it before. First day on the job and they go to do this work. Well, the next day they're going to be really sore, right, from doing all that heavy labor. But it's not like they can just call into work sore the next day. They still got to go to work and do their job. So they go in and they do it, and they're still pretty sore. They go in the next day and they keep going in and keep going in, and pretty soon they're not sore anymore from that training. It's because their body adapted to the stimulus that their body is going through all the time, and it helps you recover better. And with regards to strength training, this can be a really important thing and a really valuable tool. So if you're someone who got caught in only doing one muscle group per week all the time, which is a fairly common thing inside of the strength training bodybuilding world, because we feel like we need to make sure that we allow our bodies to recover fully to make sure that we're seeing the best progress we can. But the problem is, if you go in once per week and you just blast the crap out of your legs, okay, first of all, you're going to be crazy sore from that, right? So you're going to be sore, you probably can't walk for like 4 days, and it's horrible, and the thought of doing any more legs ever again is the worst thing ever, and the thought of sitting on the toilet is like horrendous. And the reason is because you allow yourself in a whole week every single time to recover, and that's why you're so sore every time you do it. I did this for years, like literally like 3 years. I would just crush my legs and be so sore, and it was horrible, and my legs never grew. Now I still have small legs, let's not kid ourselves. But when I increased my frequency from 1 time per week to 2 times per week, all of a sudden I saw much better progress, and I was much less sore. Now at first I was more sore, but your body gets used to what you do. It adapts to what you do. And so if you switch to training twice per week instead of once per week with your muscle groups, you can increase your volume, which volume is a key indicator of progress for both strength and size, and your body will then adapt to that stimulus. All right, so instead of thinking that it has a week to recover, eventually it's going to go, okay, I've only got 3 days to recover. I need to make sure I recover faster so that I can keep up with the demand that is being placed on me. So yeah, when you go work out and you're super sore, you go into work out the next time and you're still sore, and you think, well, man, maybe I shouldn't lift because I'm still sore. Well, you do it anyways. You force your body to start adapting to that. And yeah, you're going to be sore. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard at first. You're probably going to be pretty tired, and your body has to kind of adjust to this. But after it does it for 2 or 3 weeks, your body gets used to it. You actually become less sore from training your legs and whatever else you're doing, and you see better progress to an extent. Like I'm not just going to say like you're just magically going to see better progress, but if volume is held equal, typically if you do it twice per week versus once per week, you're often going to see better results. And I think part of this is just because you get that increase in muscle protein synthesis from training, and that only lasts for like up to 2 days. For like a day or two post workout, you're going to have that increase in muscle protein synthesis in the muscles that you used. Well, if you train and you only have an increase for a day or two, and then you don't do it again for another 5 days after that, well, you've got 5 days that didn't see that increase. Whereas if you do it one day, it lasts for a couple days, and then 3 or 4 days later you do it again, you get that increase for a couple days, and then you do it a few days later, you see how you're kind of constantly getting that bump in protein synthesis that you weren't getting when you were only doing it once per week. Plus, if you're doing it twice per week, it's a little bit easier to get in extra volume. And as your training age gets up there, you're going to need to do more volume to see more results. So typically, I find most people see better progress and are less sore by making sure that they go in there and still train even though you are sore. And in fact, training when you're sore is kind of the only way to stop being so sore from your training. that make sense? I hope so. So any questions on that, please let me know, and I will talk to you guys later.